Hello, everybody. We are back with interview number 2 with another author from the Podcast Babes Anthology that we are putting out into the world. Make sure that you come to our book launch on October 18th, where you will hear from more of the authors and you get to hear more about how they turn their pain into power. You get to hear juicy interviews and we have some special surprises, so you don't want to miss it. All right, let's get our next author up. Hello, everybody. Mister? Let's see if that worked. Let's get her on. There we go. Hello, beautiful.
Yeah. Hey.
Hello. Here we have the beautiful Celia Peachey. Hello, Miss Celia.
Hi, Kat. How you doing?
So good. I have to say, I met you in December. Was it December of 2024? December of 2024.
And in Arizona.
Yes. We met in Mastermind in Arizona, Dean Graciosi's Mastermind, and we hit it off right away.
You were sitting right next to me. It was so perfectly orchestrated by the universe. Couldn't be anyone better.
Exactly. And we have so much in common, from how we are course creators to the content that we teach. And your story really inspired me. And I think when readers get to your chapter, they're going to be inspired by you too. And I want to really dive right in and ask you, when was that moment where you could feel like your pain was turning into power?
I guess when I started to recognize the patterns, I started to see the patterns in my life and how I started to whether I reacted or whether I was responding. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm a key component in some of these patterns, despite, as Simona said, we all have our initiations. We have things that are just insurmountable. But I'd been observing my own behavior for quite a while and thinking, why do I say I'm going to do that and then do this? And so there was a lot of personal development and investment in self-inquiry. And so I could literally be the instrument for change that we all are when we strip out the discord, or we clear the discord and actually start to learn to operate from a place of love rather than fear and dysfunction. And I think for me, the big turning point was when I went on my first Vipassana meditation retreat in 2008. Yeah, that was when I realized no holiday was going to fix the mind. I needed to look at the nature of my mind. And I went and I had the most extraordinary experience. And I met these women the night before we went into silence. And each one said, we were all sharing why we'd come to the retreat. And one woman said, I've come because I've got relationship issues. I've got this pattern with men and I really need to look at my behavior. Another woman said, I've come here because I've got a drug addiction and I'm looking to see what's at the root of it. And then another lady who was 80, she said, I've come to prepare myself for death. And I was like, oh my God, this was absolutely fascinating. And they said to me, why have you come? And I said, I've got obsessive compulsive achievement disorder. I can't stop doing things. I have no idea what it means to be a human being. I need to be put in a meditation retreat, the door locked, to just see what's going on in my own mind. And thank God I did, because it was desperation that took me there. And it was divine guidance that orchestrated, all of those moments that led me to being at that retreat when one of the worst things that could ever happen to anyone happened. And that really galvanized, and activated a sense of faith in me, despite the heartbreak and the betrayals of life. So when I came out of that retreat, I saw all these missed calls on my phone and I was like, oh, look, I'm popular, the ego straight away. And then I realized, I need to complete the retreat, because I didn't want to break the container, because I was having so many revelations about how much our mind makes judgments on people and, all of life. It's always creating something that's not necessarily true. So I gave myself that beautiful container and left to the retreat, and I could have been on a train, but I wasn't. I'd accepted a lift from some really lovely people. And I said to them, I think you need to stop the car. I need to check my phone. There's something wrong. And I stood in the field and I phoned my mum's best friend, and she just said to me, Celia, I'm so sorry. She said, but your mum's been murdered.
Wow.
And I just stood there, you know, I've just trained my mind for 10 days, for 10 hours a day. I'm feeling really amazing. And then it just comes like news, you know, in stark peace. For the first time, I was experiencing peace and really realizing what I'd normalized as the chaos previously. And all I can say to you is obviously like my heart broke, it hit me. But then there was this space between stimulus and response. There was this space for me for it to land and for me to have the wherewithal to say, well, how I respond to this sets the tone for the rest of my life. And what happened is I just intuitively just said this either makes me or breaks me. And I clapped my hands and I said, it makes me. And then I just got this download of energy and I just felt really calm. And I was like, wow, like how am I even thinking this when I've just been told that news?
Yeah.
How am I even thinking like that? And I walked back to the car and I'm thinking, this sets the tone for the rest of my life. Like this. And I was so aware of like the higher aspect of myself, observing how I respond in this moment. And so it's been a long journey of untangling from the drama in my life and the generational trauma to really reach a place of peace, and then to protect that and to help other women protect that peace. And so they can raise their emotional intelligence, raise their standards for how they choose to live and how they choose to interact and what they choose to engage with, because we are the common denominator. And I think sometimes, you know, these initiations, they are always the catalyst for greater growth, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the fact that you were able to really do that in the moment, I do think that it was the universe really setting you up, right? Like everything someone was telling me recently, I think it was another podcast, babe, in one of my other podcasts, we were talking about how God will set you up with things before you even know that you need to be set up with blessings, right? And it sounds to me that that's what happened. You were set up with this retreat and this space so that you could be given the tools to be able to handle that.
Absolutely. And not only that like the other pattern in my life, which is something that I got the message to write a book after another initiation, a loss. Because I was getting the message from spirit or from God, like higher power, whatever you want to call it. When you're in touch with your intuition, you listen to that inner voice, and that's what guides you to the right place for you. And so I was guided, like, you need to write a book. So I'd written 30,000 words before you asked me, but I was it was heavy and dense, and it was a lot to look at. And it's a big meditation, writing a book and concentrating and reflecting on your life. It takes courage. It takes commitment and truth, you know, to really look at yourself. So anyway, it was a real meditation to sit and to just look at those patterns and to see that. And in that moment when I found out the news, not only did I do that intuitive anchoring, but I got the message, be faithful, the balance is being addressed, like instantaneously. So as my faith was broken, so to speak, it was restored. There's no religion to that. It's just an energy. I call it love. I call it eternal love. My mum's eternal love. The energy lives on through how you choose to alchemize it. And I've taken a great deal of responsibility to learn how to train my mind to focus, the meaning that I assign to things that happen in my life, so I can be the ultimate alchemist of my life and guide other women to realize that these are initiations and they will catalyze your heart wide open, and it is your biggest superpower. And it's so intelligent, and I didn't know that. I used to be in my head all the time, overthinking, worrying, strategizing, and you know, finally I'm living in my heart, and I'm surrounded by amazing women like you who've got skin in the game, who care about their evolution, who care about other women. And it's just as amazing. Look, I feel lit up, you know, like this is amazing. How can you talk about something so deeply wounding and it from this energy?
Yeah.
And it comes from doing the inner work and mining yourself for the gold and reflecting on where you've come and crediting yourself with the love that you deserve, that you give to everyone else.
Absolutely. And so let me ask you, when you were writing this chapter, what came up for you? Was it, I find that most of us podcast babes, even though we had our therapeutic ping to power moment within the story, also writing the story and putting it down on paper, that was also a form of therapy.
It's a meditation. I think writing at any time, you're meeting yourself in the moment with what you feel rather than numbing out or running away. So you think you don't have time, but you'll go and distract yourself to do something else. So this was a real gift in like sitting and piecing it together in a way that I felt that people could come on the journey, even if it wasn't as linear, but it was like the pieces of the puzzle that led me to that point of my understanding that, you know, fierce love is the way forward, and us women are fierce in our love, and there's such a wisdom to that. And yeah, I'm just grateful that you initiated all of us to activate looking into our hearts, looking into our souls, and seeing the gifts of all of our experiences so we can come out stronger, more united, and build this community even stronger, which is what your whole intention is with the heart that you have. And so, yeah, I'm super grateful to you because I'm the artist of my life. And this is helping me confirm that.
Yes, so good. Yes, we also are doing a summit together, and I love that that's where you come from when you are giving your presentations about how we are living and breathing art. I love that so much. And it also reminds me of a quote that I personally love about how, and it reminds me of our last interview with Simona as well, is that you can be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time, right?
Absolutely. I think there are moments in your life where you're like, I nailed it. That was a masterpiece. And there are other times you're like, what was that? But you're learning and you never give up. And I think the more self-compassion we can bring to our evolution, the faster we're going to go, the faster we're going to grow, because we've all come from, I don't know how many times I've Googled the most functional family, thinking it was the Osbournes and then realizing I had it all wrong. Who's the most functional family? Who can I role model? But you know, like through doing the inner work, not only am I able, this is what it enables us to do, is articulate the wisdom of our pain and what that the women that's made us into today, our non-negotiables, our boundaries, our self-worth, and to really, you know, live in alignment with that. And I'm all about it.
Yes. That this is my favorite part about this community, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I decided to choose this theme, because as I created this group and as more women came and crystallized this beautiful community that we have together, I started realizing that everybody had this beautiful story. They were here because they had a mess that they now turned into a message, because they had some pain that they turned into power, and now they wanted to guide other women through it. They had something in their life that they wanted to share, some overcoming that they had. And it just dawned on me, this needs to be a book. Right?
It's brilliant. And how quickly you pulled it all together and pulled it all off and rallied us all. You were like, deadline or accomplishment day. Let's not like give it some dead heavy deadline. But you were so like, come on, we're doing this. Either you're in, you know, and it was such a great momentum. And I've just been watching you build, and oh, like, I don't know, there's just, since we met, there's just been this catalyst of energy, of just creative explosion of just like, this is who I am, this is how I'm showing up, I'm not perfect, I'm in it together, I've got a team now. So if you've got an opinion and you're not in the arena, mwah, goodbye. We're not playing, you know. And I think that changes the game for us women, to know that we've got each other's back, and that we've all come from places that were less than perfect at times. And if we can come through that with grace and strength, and you know, Simona, she's so loving, everyone in this group is so loving and so team spirited, and that's what we need. You know, we've all been living alone in our heads, and we live in a digital age, and more than ever I feel our humanity with AI, we're teaching each other how to treat each other as well as ourselves, and everything's evolving. And the more we can learn from our history so that we can use it as a firm foundation for a better future, the better. And like, who doesn't want to talk to someone that knows themselves? Like, if you know yourself, you are going to make choices and decisions that serve yourself. So yeah, let's keep going on this creative path. And I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of all of us. And that's one thing that I love about Podcast Babes is that, you know, when I get to see everybody's faces on Zoom, it brings me so much joy to see that we're all from different backgrounds, different cultures, different just ethnicities. Like, we just have so many different things, but at the same time, we're so like-hearted. That's the thing. Yeah.
we're all so different. I've not judged anyone, and I don't feel like I've been judged. I'm like, this is just all lovely energy entering my life, and it's all just like sparkling water, you know, like bubbling each other up, and I'm loving that. I'm all about the popcorn and the sparkling water. I think when you've been through, you know, such grief, and you've had the guts and the courage to feel it, to face it, to confront it, you get access to that joy. You get access to that unapologetic expression of like, yeah, this happened, it was shit, and this is what I've learned from it. I've come out stronger. I know who I am and what I'm stand for and the fabric of my character, and that's what we're doing here today. And this book is a gift to anyone. It's gonna be a wealth of wisdom.
It really is. Like Simona was saying earlier, there's something for everyone. Everybody has a different pain that they've overcome, a different wound that they've turned into wisdom. And it's been so beautiful to read and to watch and to participate in.
I bet it has. I bet, because you've watched everybody since they entered the group, and you've given them so many challenges to rise to. And it's like, how are they meeting it? How are they meeting it? And I think, you know, the book gave us the chance to really get to the heart of who we are, because we've been doing a lot of different playing full out. You've like helped us video game our lives and our evolution, which has been so helpful, because, you know, we can live in our heads behind our laptop and I've got to make this work. And it's like, oh God, where's the fun? And yeah, I just really appreciate that. And now through the book, I'm really looking forward to reading everybody's chapters. Like, I think this journey of coaching, you think that you see someone with success and you think, well, how did they do it? They must have pulled all these stunts. And actually they did the work of like one person at a time, getting to know people, caring about them, actually seeing what their values are, living in alignment. Because my ego's tried to rush me through this. Like, come on, like, I'm coming already, you know. And I think that when it's right, when you're aligned with the right parts of you and you feel whole, everything right comes to meet you.
Yes, I could not agree more. I love you so much, Celia. Thank you for being here today. What a beautiful interview. I love you so much. You guys, you have to get this book on October 18th. Come to our book launch. Come see Celia and the rest of the beautiful ladies. Dive deeper with them into their chapter. It's a wealth of wisdom, and you're going to want to read her chapter because it is absolutely amazing. Just what you were able to overcome, and the rest of the details, which we will not give away. You got to get the book. It's so incredible. So thank you for being a part of this. I love you so much.
I love you too. And if anyone wants to reach out, I'm on misspeacheycelia.com on Instagram. I think it's actually Miss Peachey Celia. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing book. I'm so excited to read it. And yeah, I'm just grateful to be part of this group. So thank you very much for this this opportunity.
Absolutely. You will be tagged in the description when this comes in our feed. So everybody just stick around, because Celia has amazing things to offer. And stay tuned for our next author. You want to join right back in. Refresh your page and we'll be right back. Thank you, my love.
Bye.